Good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me? No? How about now? Probably don't even need these microphones with this great facility. So I'm Steve Dyer. I'm president of the Highlands Ranch Chamber of Commerce. And on behalf of the board and the Government Affairs Committee of the Chamber, I'd like to welcome everybody today. Thanks for coming out. We have an amazing program lined up for the next couple of hours. And I really look forward to hearing what's going on with the C-470 corridor and the transportation for the history or the future of this area. This summit was developed as a result of feedback from the community regarding the future of the C-470 corridor and what options are available to alleviate current congestion and future growth in the area. And we plan on this being an annual event, and so put it on your schedule for the fall of next year as well. I want to recognize three people that have really been instrumental in getting this put together this today. Melanie Worley, who's the only one that's sat in the front today. Most of you know Melanie, but Melanie is with Developmental Pathways. She's also a board member of the Chamber and does numerous other things in the area and the state of Colorado. So thanks, Melanie, for what you've done. Krista Simonson, who's with RE/MAX Professionals, the Simonson team, and Krista has been a key. She's a former board member, two-time chair of the board, and has really been instrumental in this as well. And then Dean Murphy, who is our MC today, and I'll introduce him in a second, but he's with Terracare Associates and also on our board. I also want to thank our sponsors for today, Park Meadows Retail Resort and Pam Shank Kelly, who's going to say a few words here in a second. And thanks, Pam, for your support. And also the Cedar Lone Tree and Seth Hoffman, who also will say a few words here in a minute. With that, I'd like to introduce Pam Shank Kelly. She's the general manager of Park Meadows Retail Resort. Pam is extremely supportive of what's going on with the transportation. She's a great member of the Chamber and is always supportive of us as well. So I'll turn it over to Pam.
Good morning. For those of you that this is your first time in the Lone Tree Cultural Arts Center, isn't it an amazing and wonderful facility? Well, there's a number of things, if anyone of you in the audience know me, that I'm very passionate about. Park Meadows is, of course, one of those. Lone Tree, the Art Center, is another one. But probably right up there in the top 5 is transportation. I think it's a key to the quality of life. I think it's a key to the quality of our economy. It's a key to so many things. So the fact that you took the time and the effort to be here, I really want to welcome you, and I want to tell you that I appreciate everything that you do. I think the community appreciates everything you do, and I know you're really going to enjoy the program. Thanks for coming. Thank you. I also get the pleasure of introducing, I almost forgot, Seth Hoffman with the great city of Lone Tree.
Following Pam Kelly is kind of a scary thing, so I'm going to do my best. But I want to welcome you all on behalf of the city of Lone Tree to the Lone Tree Arts Center. The building just opened in August. This is exactly the kind of meeting we were hoping to host here, so we're very happy to have all of you here today. I want to introduce very briefly, 2 of our city council members are here, Councilmember Jackie Millay and Councilmember Harold Anderson. If you would raise your hands real quick. I saw Jackie and Harold. Thank you. So with the leadership of the City Council over the last few years, we worked really hard on developing a business plan for the Arts Center. And before we even started the design, tried to figure out what this building would be. And the study that we did confirmed what we thought we knew, which was transportation and getting people to this building from all over the area would be a significant competitive advantage. And so instead of just having a local community art center, we were able to sort of dream a little bigger and build a regional art center that you're in today. And so the draw, because of the intersection of 470 and I-25, makes it easy for a lot of people to get here from a long way away. And so we advertise all the way up through Denver, up to Arvada, down through Colorado Springs, all points east and west. And so, transportation is extremely important to us. That's why we're so happy to host you all here today. We hope you all can come back for another event here, maybe something in the evening where there's cocktails outside, and you can come in for a show and really enjoy yourself. So thank you again for being here. We're looking forward to, as Steve said, it's going to be an annual event. I kind of thought you were going to figure it all out today, but maybe next year you can come and celebrate your solutions. So thank you all very much.
Now I'd like to introduce you to Dean Murphy. I'm so pleased that Dean agreed to MC this event today, because if he wouldn't have, I would have had to. So a little stage fright. But Dean Murphy, we're excited to have him on the board of directors for the Highlands Ranch Chamber. He's got a tremendous amount of experience in transportation specifically, but serving on boards, South Metro Chamber, various other organizations, and he's very involved in the community. So we're excited to have him on the board and excited to have him here today. He's really involved with what's going on. So with that, Dean Murphy.
Nice of you to clap before I said anything. So after 13 people said no, here I am to be your MC. I took my daughter to school this morning. She's a senior. Yes, she's a senior. And I thought, she said, well, Daddy, how's your day? What are you going to do today? And I thought, well, I'll impress her. I said, well, I'm going to this transportation summit, and I'm actually the master of ceremonies. And she said, isn't that just kind of fancy for MC? She was not impressed. So here we are today. Welcome to the first ever, potentially first annual, Transportation Summit sponsored by the Highlands Ranch Chamber of Commerce, driving the C-470 corridor into the future. Certainly we appreciate those folks who've been mentioned earlier. It's good to see a lot of you who are here as well. Haven't seen some of these faces in quite some time. I just looked and saw Joe Rice. Joe, good to see you. We also want to just make quick mention, Steve Dyer's done a really nice job with this thing today, as has staff, and give him a round of applause. He's really done a good job. As you know, it's hard to have two couples over to your house for dinner, but to get 100 people or so in a room to do something like this takes a lot of effort. So we appreciate his effort and that of staff. One other individual we'd like to recognize, Arapahoe County Commissioner Nancy Sharp is here as well. I think I saw her earlier. So there she is. Good to see you. And certainly we want to thank our speakers. It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort out of their day, certainly, and I think you'll appreciate their insight today. So, we have a challenge, and that's what we're really here to talk about. We're trying to grow the state. This idea of growth, think about it, you're either growing or what? Or dying. So, that should be all of our focus, is to grow the state. And certainly there's a lot of components that go into that. And we're trying to grow businesses that are here, clear the runway for that growth, and certainly attract businesses. And it's been well documented that there are a number of things that have to happen. Your K through 12 education has to be solid. Your higher education piece has to be solid. Your tax structure needs to be advantageous. The business climate needs to be a plus. There's lots of things that need to happen for growth to occur. One of the most critical is the transportation piece. Mobility happens to be one of the most fundamental pieces of any economic development effort. A couple of economic developers right here would agree with that. You have to agree with that. Thank you. It provides a lot of things. It gives you access to a larger market, obviously. There's an access to employment. There's efficiencies, so your costs drop if you have good mobility. And certainly this idea of moving goods and services across 470 is a big deal, especially for a number of you who have businesses in this corridor. So what we're really trying to do, and this is the problem, is we're trying to finance the infrastructure of tomorrow, and we're using the tax base of today, or at least the tax base before Tabor. Whole other issue. But between these money issues, various political divides, ever-increasing costs to build things, and frankly, a lack of understanding around the process and the options, we've got a difficult challenge. And understand, difficult is not code word for can't. We can do it, but we do have to have some conversation and get to a point where we can get through